and welcome to Access Sports Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, Derek Fisher, James Worthy, Mike Bresnahan, Chris McGee, and Mike Trudell will handle the locker room duties. Lakers, who jumped out to a great start, 10-point lead after one, 4-point lead at the half, lose another to the Denver Nuggets. Now 11 straight losses, find themselves in a 3-0 hole here in this series. And the theme has really been the same through these first three games, guys. You play well in the first half, you struggle in the second. And I'm going to give you some numbers because the numbers, they do not lie. This is now the worst in franchise history when it comes to second half point differential big game. They're a minus 42 in second half. And you look at the stat sheet and you got to give the Denver Nuggets, you see the numbers right here in second half scoring, credit. Balanced. 4 of their 5 starters with 20 or more tonight. You've got 3 of those 4 starters with double-doubles. Michael Porter Jr., 20 and 10. A big night from Aaron Gordon, 29 and 15. He was huge on the offensive glass in the first half. 24 and 15 from Nikola. You're out rebounded by 13, and on a night, you hit just 5 threes. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, big game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, gave up the 14 offensive rebounds. And the Lakers have had quite a few or too many tale of two halves throughout the year where they've shown tremendous, strength in the first half and just for some reason still, to me, have not developed, how to value the possession of the basketball. That's one thing, how to not give up, second chance points. But, tonight was another example of that. Out of the gates, when they started out of the gates like that, I couldn't get excited. I really couldn't because you have to finish. And then, as you mentioned, AD and LeBron pretty much outplay Murray and Jokic. But it just goes to show you how well groomed Denver is. That they know each other so well. They're so well in the half court and executing, especially Gordon. He seems to be, anytime there's a play at the top of the key or pick and roll, he always seems to roam that baseline and get dunks. And they just execute well down the stretch, and the Lakers just can't seem to find a way to, execute when they need to. The other guys outside of AD and LeBron, we just haven't been able to find a rhythm for them. And the minutes that they've had, the times they've been out, Gabe, now you're asking Gabe and them to come in. That's hard to do. So it's been an uphill battle, but the Lakers have had their opportunities, and that's what's hard to set with. When you have opportunities like in Game 1, the second quarter, Game 2, that's what's going to be hard, to sleep with going forward. And
look, I'll just give you these numbers with a series that's headlined by its dynamic duos, if you will. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, 59 combined to just 46 for Nikola and Jamal Murray. But the others, when it comes to your starting 5 on both sides, 54 to 27, D-Fish. A tough night for D'Lo as well. 0 for 7 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's hard to so quickly go to like who individually had tough nights when the collective team had a tough night, so to speak. Like the stars are always going to statistically appear to have played well because the volume, the opportunities are there. For those other guys to play well, there has to be a continuity, a rhythm, a flow to the game that doesn't always happen. The Nuggets are a team that they aren't searching for who they are. They know who they are. When they need a basket, they know exactly what set they're running. They know which 2 guys they want to put where. Aaron Gordon knows to slide along that baseline right as Jokic is catching that ball. That comes from a team that has continuity. They've been together before. They've played in multiple playoff series before. And with the Lakers year after year, like as fans and guys pulling for the team, you're searching each year because there's not that continuity that comes from playing a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years together, like Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Malone, coaching staff. Like, when we won our first title in 2000, we had gotten swept out of the playoffs a few times prior to that. And that's where that chemistry, camaraderie, connection comes from, the trust that we have to do this together. We can't just rely on those two guys. We all have to pitch in. We talked about this in the break of when the Lakers have been at their best so far this year, it's when the bench is up, guys are smiling, high-fiving, laughing, like there's a lightness to the group. And as the series has gone on, it's gotten heavy again. It's like you can see the body language is different. We don't know why, because we're not in the locker room. This is just speculation from the studio to the arena. Those are things that when you're trying to win a championship, you can't beat that and the other team, especially when the other team is the defending NBA champion that largely looks the same that they looked a year ago.
Yeah, we just saw the graphic for the others. D'Angelo Russell, really a tough series for him, period. 1 for 9 from deep in game 1. Rebounded in game 2, hit 7 threes. That's huge. But again tonight, 0 for 7. This guy was one of the NBA's best shooters over the last 3 months. And there you see D'Lo's numbers again. 0 for 6 from deep. The Lakers obviously can't have this. And Rui, he was averaging over 16 points after the All-Star break. He's averaging 5 points in this series. So there's two very important components of the starting five that was playing together so well. They were one of the top 3 offenses since the All-Star break, pretty much. And it has just gone asunder so far in this first round. Lakers had their chances, again, up early in this game. And James, like you said, you just can't trust it because, you know, the Nuggets are the Nuggets. I mean, Aaron Gordon, he finished this trade a few years ago. He was not with the Nuggets when the Lakers beat them in 2000. Nuggets realized they had a deficiency, so they went and got him at the trade deadline the following year for R.J. Hampton, Gary Harris, and a first-round pick next year that will presumably be pretty late. That delivers you Aaron Gordon, the obvious star for the Nuggets tonight, and in plenty of other games too, Allie.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just kind of goes off of what you were preaching right there, just that chemistry and that continuity. And we talked coming into this series just about how much was on that side for the Denver Nuggets when it comes to their starting 5 and their closing lineup, which is the same 5 who have played more minutes than any other 5-man lineup in the NBA over the last 2 seasons. And you can feel it, not to mention when you talk about how that kind of falls in line with the theme of this series so far. The Denver Nuggets have 13 double-digit comebacks on the regular season.
Yeah, nothing new, right?
Double-digit comeback wins. They know, to your point, when it comes to going into the locker room at halftime, what they got to get to, the adjustments that need to be made, and they just take that leap and they do it with ease. Big game. And now you're facing an elimination game on your home floor when you think back to what happened a season ago as well, mentally.
Yeah. When you're playing a team like the Nuggets or any team that's been together as we've talked about and has won together, the margin for mistakes are very, very low. So to compensate for not having that chemistry or not having the Porters and the Gordon not getting there yet, you still have talented players, Rui, D'Lo, and from time to time they've shown, you know, some good basketball. But when you're in the regular season, you can show a lot of promise when you're skipping around playing, you know, Denver one night, you might be playing Sacramento this night. But when you get stuck with a team for 7 games and the team is really good, it's different. And your room for margin mistakes, they have to be very, very small. That's how you compensate for not having the chemistry yet, for not, you know, having the experience yet. You got a 12-point lead, better not turn it over. That's your, and there was no guarantee that they were going to win that game, but there's things you just can't do. And so it's just hard. Denver's a better team. The Lakers show promise. Now they got to, you know, their objective is still there. Today I said, you know, they got to win 1 game on the road. Now they got to win 2 on the road. And they got to win the next game at home. So it's never been done. First time for everything, but it's bleak. What's your attitude? Do you want to win at home and go back there and like just fight balls out? Do you have that in you? That's what it's going to take.
Again, Lakers find themselves down 3-0 in this series. 0-151 in the best of a 7-game series is the record.